we are both content creators.
Of course.
Um, and our nature of our job is to be on camera all day. But a lot of content creators are like family content creators. So they have their husband, their wife, and
All the
obviously they
kids.
have all the kids in there. Now, a new proposed law in Tennessee is planning to ban content creators from featuring kids under the age of 14 in videos that make money. So, it's a lot of YouTube channels,
Hmm.
it's a lot of family content creators, Instagram, TikTok, you can get paid from these platforms. In Tennessee, whoever is proposing this law must be a failed content creator because they are really hating. So I
They
believe it's
hating.
sponsored by State Senator Paige Wally, and they're targeting a lot of family vloggers, social media influencers who earn money from their content that includes minors, and they're arguing that children should not be used for profit without stronger protections. Now, I agree with the stronger protection narrative. What I don't agree with is that these kids are being exploited because the money that you are earning is being used to take care of these children. So I can make an argument that, if I'm a content creator, the children would want me
Right.
to do put them in the content if that is what's going to bring the views, that is what's going to help me um further my content strategy. So I don't
I
like.
think the idea that when I first looked at this, it kind of was like, okay, you don't want to exploit children. You don't want to have them online. Some people don't even post their kids or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, but I also think it should be their choice because how many families have improved their quality of life because they have this family channel, this family vlog,
Yes.
and people fall in love with the kids and people fall in love with the family dynamic. And so now the quality of life improves. You have people who are, don't have to take the traditional route like we were talking about, and they can work from home. Everybody, man,
Yes.
woman, and child, they all can work from home until they don't feel like it anymore. And that's the other part that I will say. There has been complaints from children
Yes.
who then get older and say, some of my most intimate moments
Are
was,
blasted on the internet.
yeah, and like
And
then the
now I'm
kids.
famous because of I didn't consent to all that. Now, I do like the law in Chicago. So if you can look this up, so there's a child law in Chicago that requires it allows you to shoot content with your kids, but you have to put a percentage of the money into like a trust fund.
Hmm.
So the child, when they're 18, they can fund their college, it can fund their lifestyle, it can fund their career if they're furthering with their acting and things like that. Now, I think that's a better route to go down.
For
To
sure.
say if you're going to be a family content creator, 30% of that needs to go to
Yeah.
a trust fund for the child because the child is consenting against their will because they're 5,
Right, right,
but
right.
they are going to benefit because when they're 18, their college is going to be paid for by YouTube videos. I
It's
think they would like that.
It says minors under the age of 16 who are featured in paid content are entitled to guaranteed compensation provided that at any time during the previous 12 months period. So if it features the minor's name, image, likeness, for photograph,
Yep.
you have to include the 30%, like you said, of the vlogger's compensated content produced within a 30-day period. So it's also a timing thing as well.
I don't like the timing thing because some of these platforms don't pay that quick.
Mm.
So I'm not sure how strict they're going to be
it
about that
it
part.
gets
But
really into the nitty gritty. It says the number of views per video, the number of views per video reached the relevant online platform's compensation threshold. So some,
yeah,
social media platforms, in order for you to get paid, you need a certain amount of views,
yeah,
maybe views plus subscribers or whatever like that. Once it reaches that threshold, or the creator receives actual compensation from the video, which means a sponsored
yeah, yeah, yeah.
situation, the content can equal to or greater than 10 cents per view.
Mm.
So there's like also like a minimum.
Yeah, yeah, they're not playing.
They're not playing.
You're not about to have 1 million views on YouTube and not paying the kids.
But also I really want to look up the marriage laws in Tennessee because I want to say that
To
you are
me,
able
it's
to marry a 14-year-old in Tennessee.
wow.
I
But
want
to
to say
me,
that.
this law targets women.
Okay.
If you really think about it, a lot of women are family content creators because they have to take care of the family, cook, clean, do all of this stuff anyway. So they make money and build audiences by documenting their process. And the father or the husband or the kids are just a
Yeah.
byproduct of the woman being creative. It's not
That's true
like
too.
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if this law goes into effect tomorrow, it's going to be majority women content creators and mothers who are affected by this. The men get up and go to work every day anyway. So it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be a few guys that, do type of
Yeah.
daughter and dad content, whatever. But that type of content is so good because it's not that much online.
Okay.
The content where the woman is the primary content creator and the daughter or the son and the husband or the father of the children is kind of like a character in the mom's movie or in the mom's vlog. That is a real strategy
Yeah.
online. It's a lot of content creators,
I agree with you.
stay at home moms.
I think it's a way to suppress women because it's also given and just to correct myself, no, the age of consent is 18 in Tennessee, but one of them states down south
Yeah,
is
it sounds
very
like
young.
some down. I didn't doubt it not once. It sounds like some down south crazy
I
stuff.
have to find it, but that alone, even like the idea that I can tell you what to do with your kids, I can tell you when to have children, when not. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
all in the same spectrum of the state
trying to control the
can control
house
your
and
house.
yes,
Yes.
I don't like it. Yeah, that's
Hmm.
that's the part I don't like.
And I feel like that's why, just to be clear, this bill or this bill is still a proposal. It
Yeah.
has not been voted on yet. But this is something that the state of Tennessee is thinking about. And like I said, there are some children who have, turned around and said, "Hey, like, I don't think I should have, the reaction to me having my period should have been on
Yeah, I mean,
online."
I think
Like,
certain stuff need to be I think certain stuff do need to be off limits. And, you know, there is a real conversation to have about a child's mental health because if you are this famous child
and you got to go to school.
online and you got to go to school and, you know, you could have a viral clip where you're getting bullied.
Yep.
Now the kids are talking about you or they're bullying your mom or now they're talking, it's a lot of stuff that does go into that.
Hmm.
But I mean, can there be no child actors under the age of 14?
Exactly.
Because it's
Exactly.
like there's a big blurred line. I mean, there's a blurred line. Being a content creator and being an actor are,
Yeah.
they are real close. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
it is. It is. It's almost like the same thing
Yeah.
because again, you don't have the. I think that as a child, you are at the mercy of your parents in general, period.
In general,
In general,
exactly.
period. The
Exactly.
best thing that the state can do is to say, hey, let's just make it equitable. Don't rip them off.
Exactly. Put
Because
some
here's the
money up.
thing,
Yeah.
whether it's on camera or not on camera, y'all are psychologically beating these kids.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm
Like,
gonna just teach my son who's 7 how to hold and angle the camera. Now he's my producer, he's my
yeah,
camera guy, and yeah, I'm making all this money. And now it's like, well, he still get. I'm putting him to work no matter what.
exactly.
And it's like, okay, now you're targeting content creators. What about if I'm making my son or daughter do all this stuff around the house and do all this domestic work and doing this and doing that? It's like,
No,
are you going to target that as well?
Right,
No. And
right.
I would say that is probably a little
Worse.
that's harmful.
Yeah.
So you can try to cut this out, but at the end of the day, I'm raising my kids.
Yeah.
What about all them kids in Tennessee working on farms and all that? Like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like, it's
yeah.
real labor laws that are being violated, and content creation to me shouldn't be at the top of the priority because there's a lot of other things.
And if anything, honestly, there has been families that have been reported on
Yeah.
because people are like, "Hey, this is not okay."
Yeah.
So also not for nothing, but the visibility into some of these homes have saved children's lives.
Yeah. And I do think there should be more oversight on all of this. I'm not sitting here saying there no regulation should happen. I just think the state coming in and trying to tell you what you can't do
Especially not
instead of just
Tennessee.
saying we're going to regulate this more and be
Right.
like Chicago or be like Illinois and force you to invest in your kids' future. I think that is a more of a regulation than a policy that stops you from doing it, period. So
Yeah.
I don't like the government telling me what I can't do with my kids.
Hmm.
And you wasn't with me shooting in the gym. You
That
wasn't with
part.
me delivering this baby. You wasn't with me feeding the baby at 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would like you to, you know,
Back off.
back off. So thank you guys for watching. In order to continue to support independent journalism, I need you to subscribe to our page below. And also, if you want the full podcast and more exclusive content, make sure you subscribe to the Patreon. Link is in the description.